In this video, I'm excited to introduce you to my Lion Knight army. These Lion Knights mainly come from the Kingdom's theme released back in 2010. Due to limited space and tabletop area at home, I've opted to store my minifigures in plastic shoeboxes. This not only keeps them dust-free, but also preserves their prints and allows for easy stacking. Before placing them in the box, I organize the minifigures on plates. Each box can accommodate approximately 18 studs in width and 36 studs in length. Among my various armies, the Lion Knights stand as my largest and favorite, comprising several divisions inspired by TV shows and movies. I'll delve into each division or unit type and share the references I've gathered. First up are the Royal Guards, the highest-ranking knights in the army, entrusted with protecting the royal family. Utilizing numerous of these king torsos and legs, I've assembled them into an elite team serving as the royal family's bodyguards. Equipped with lightweight golden swords and distinctive golden shoulder pieces, along with white helmets, this unit exudes an aura of honor. With a total of 6 royal guards, let's now see how they function as bodyguards around the king and queen. Next, we have the captains and lieutenants, overseeing companies of infantrymen and archers under the command of generals. Equipped with heavy plate armor for increased durability in battle, they wield broadswords with one hand while keeping the other free to signal commands. I use the more common heads for minifigures with covered faces. Beneath their body armor, I use plain or common torsos to expand into more soldiers for the army. Additionally, armor leggings are added to enhance their heavy armor aesthetics. Moving on to the main infantry, we have the Spearman units. Arranged on a 16 by 16 plate for easy retrieval from the box. While mostly original from the Kingdom sets, their heads are varied to ensure uniqueness within each group. These are the lower-strength soldiers hailing from diverse backgrounds. Clad in light brigandine armor and armed with spears and shields, they play a crucial strategic role in battle. Forming shield walls and thrusting their spears forward, they effectively deter charging cavalry. Furthermore, they're often deployed as sentries to guard important buildings or gateways. Additionally, I've included 4 battle jesters in my army. They play drums and horns on the battlefield, boosting the fighting spirit and morale of our troops. Now, let's take a look at the captain with his spearman unit. Next, we'll switch to the other type of infantry, the Swordsman and the Axeman. As part of the main infantry, they specialize in melee combat and wear full-body chainmail armor. To enhance their armored appearance, I swapped their original yellow hands for grey ones. The Swordsman unit wields a broadsword and shield, while the Axeman carries a halberd. Fortunately, I was able to acquire many of these chainmail legs at a reasonable price, allowing me to equip these units adequately. Lastly, here are the archers, similar to the spearmen except for their helmets. To conserve space, I've opted not to equip them with bows, storing them separately in a weapons container. Here, I have 2 noblemen from the Kingdom's Joust set. I haven't really thought about their background details yet, but I'm considering assigning them roles such as wealthy traders or merchants, or perhaps as close advisors to the king. I have several different types of king's torsos, some of which I obtained from the King's Castle set and others from Legoland, or build a minifigure. While the printed dark red legs complement these torsos nicely, I'm still searching for a suitable match for the remaining torsos. In the meantime, I've outfitted them with white legs and hoods, envisioning them as messengers, spies, or administrative officials. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any better ideas for their roles. That covers the contents of the first box, which holds about 80 plus minifigures. Moving on to the second box, it contains a specialized class of soldiers in the army, the King's Guard. These golden armored units, equipped with heavy plated armor, serve as the king's protectors. They accompany the king as escorts and form the close line of defense during battles. While the King's Guard draws inspiration from Game of Thrones, their function is slightly less elite, and they operate under the command of the Royal Guards. Equipped with broadswords and shields, I've opted for the cheapest gold torsos, primarily from the Ninjago series, to save costs. When using printed torsos, I ensure that the print aligns seamlessly with the exposed part below the body armor piece. Now, let's take a quick look at how they stand guard beside the king and queen. Quite imposing, don't you think? Now, let's add in the royal guards at the front. Back to the King's Guard, there are two other types of units, the Swordsman and the Pikeman, forming the outer defense line. These versatile units can integrate well and reinforce the infantry when required on the battlefield. The Swordsman, wearing medium-plated armor, wields a broadsword and shield, excelling in melee combat. The Pikeman, armed with a long pike, can effectively push back aggressors and take down cavalry. For comparison, here's a heavy armored knight who can also act as the captain of the Swordsman and Pikeman. Lastly, we have the Templars, inspired by the TV show Nightfall. These seasoned fighters, loyal to the Lion Knights King due to generous donations to their religion, operate independently from the main army. They are fearless and devout, embodying strong religious beliefs and unwavering confidence in their brotherhood. Outfitted with printed torsos and legs from the Ninjago movie theme, featuring golden lines and writings on the robe, the Templars embody a formidable presence. Here's a glimpse of how they compare to the Pope, although it's worth noting that the Templars do not serve the Pope as depicted in the TV series. Finally, let's introduce the King and his inner circle. Meet the Queen from Collectible Minifigures Series 15 and the King from Collectible Minifigures Series 13. I particularly admire their unique hairpieces with crowns. Next, we have the evil Second Queen, creating drama driven by jealousy. She is built from the Queen of Hearts from Collectible Minifigures Disney series. Moving on, we have a modified Knight of the Yellow Castle from Collectible Minifigure Series 23. Utilizing the torso, I've created another soldier, intending to portray them as personal friends and guards of the princess. Meet the Hand of the King, a direct reference to Game of Thrones. Serving as the king's closest advisor, he oversees all matters within the kingdom. This minifigure is from Collectible Minifigures The Lego Movie Series 1. Next, we have the king's uncle, highly regarded in the political world and a trusted advisor. I used the Professor Dumbledore minifigure from Harry Potter, recently released minifigure with exquisite detailing. Of course, no castle is complete without a shady mage, an expert in science and magic, with connections to powerful figures across the kingdom. This minifigure is from Collectible Minifigures Series 13. Presenting Gandalf the Grey in his iconic form, paired with the Good Wizard from the Kingdom's theme set 5614. Their skin tones may differ, but their presence is undeniably powerful. Lastly, we have the Pope, an influential religious figure whom the king consults closely. This torso is an exclusive Vitruvius minifigure from the 3D Blu-ray edition of the LEGO Movie, paired with a cape from a non-LEGO figure. With the king and his advisors assembled, their dark red attire creates a cohesive visual. As for these 4 golden armor units, their roles in the Lion Knight army are yet to be determined. Feel free to share your suggestions in the comments. Now let's move on to the final box, the Cavalry. This box can hold approximately 18 horses with riders. Let's ignore the blue lions for now, I'll discuss them in a future video. Introducing the Lion Knights Light Cavalry, mounted on an octagon plate back-to-back for stability. To add realism, I've included horses of different colors. Each knight is equipped with a long sword and a large shield, and their horse has a dark brown saddle to represent leather. Sporting full-face helmets and light-bladed armor, their legs are left plain gray or even using yellowing parts, as they're concealed by the horses. Witness the light cavalry in action with a demonstration of a cavalry charge led by the prince and generals. The prince, sent to battle by his father to gain experience for his future role as king, is accompanied by 2 generals in heavy-plated armor, and together they form the heavy cavalry. Behind them stand 2 more of my light cavalry units, totaling to 8 of them. Let's take a closer look at the general and his horse. Clad in heavy-plated armor, the general's horse dons barding with head protection. Their unique appearance blends seamlessly with newer horse models, ensuring a cohesive look. While similar in appearance to captains, generals wield great swords and utilize great torso pieces, in this case from the Nexus Knight team. These battle-hardened leaders serve as mentors to the young prince, guiding him through both warfare and leadership. Speaking of the prince, equipped with gold elements and unique chest armor, he rides the older type of horse with barding and head protection. His attire includes printed legs from Ninjago and a golden cape from a non-LEGO figure, paired with a torso from a Harry Potter 20th anniversary set. Clutching the king's great sword, he embodies the proud lineage of his family. Though currently stored in containers, my vision is to station them within the Lion Knight's castle in the future. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more LEGO content and updates on my hobby. See you soon.